Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 32. In this lecture, we will study about dimensions of service quality. Service quality is the result of complex network of service dimensions. I have already told you this thing in my previous lecture. Ink color has to be red. So, it is a complex network of service dimension, different dimensions of services, and then all of them they work together or they play their role in deciding the service quality or setting an impression in the mind of the tourist that what kind of quality of the service has been delivered to him. Okay. Now, different social scientists have given different factors. When I'm saying factors, I mean these dimensions. Okay. So, different social scientists have given different factors, and out of which most prominent are A. Parshuraman, about which I have told you in my previous lecture also, V. Zethamel, L. Berry, all three of them have worked together. Now, next is G. Wagner. Next is F. Saleh and C. Ryan. F. Saleh and C. Ryan, both of them have worked together in couple of papers. Okay. Then P. Stevens, B. Knudson and M. Patton. These are few of the prominent social scientists who have worked on finding out the dimensions or those factors or those prominent characteristics while delivering the service which makes an impression in the mind of tourist, okay, which makes tourist realize that the proper service has been delivered to him. So, A. Parshuraman, V. Zethamel and L. Berry in 1988, they developed the most prominent scale, the most widely accepted around the world even today, and that is known as SERVQUAL. The full form of SERVQUAL is service quality battery, okay, SERVQUAL battery. Now, they have used 22 service items in that, okay, and then they have compressed those 22 items into 5 basic service dimensions or factors, and these factors are reliability, tangibles, responsiveness, assurance and empathy, okay. We will study all these 5 dimensions one by one. Right now in this lecture, we will be concentrating more on these 5 dimensions of SERVQUAL only, okay, because we have limited time. But if you want to have more information, you can refer to other battery or index or scales also which were developed by other social scientists. Now, first is reliability. As per American Society of Quality, reliability means the probability that the service will perform its intended function. So, whatever is the reason because of which that service has been delivered, whether that service has been delivered to make customer happy or make customer feel emotionally satisfied or make customer feel little tensed, yes, in case of adventure tours, okay, make customer feels scared and safe at the same time, make customer feel spiritually enlightened, make customer feel more knowledgeable in case of any educational tour or educational conference. So, whatever is the intended function, the probability that the service will perform its task is actually the meaning of reliability. So, you are hitting the nail is what actually the meaning of reliability here, okay. Now, ability to perform service dependably and accurately also. Accurately means you do not have a choice to redo the thing in first time itself, it has to be correct. This is the meaning of accurately. So, you have to do it dependably so that your customer feel that if you are looking for some kind of spiritual enlightenment, some kind of knowledge, some kind of excitement, then what kind of company or what kind of product of which company can actually provide them, and that is what is dependably. And accurately means precisely with zero error in first time itself. The work will be done in first time itself. This is the meaning of accurately, okay. Now, providing service as and when promised. It is not just about providing, it is providing the way in which it was promised. That if let's say performing Ganga Aarti in any of the ghat of the Ganga in, anywhere from where the Ganga flows and Ganga Aarti has been performed. So if it was promised that it would be done in the morning, then it would be done in the morning. If it was promised it would be done in the night, then it would be done in the night. If the kids were promised that they will be taken to, let's say, some kind of roller coaster ride, then it has to be that roller coaster ride. Or if it was such that roller coaster ride will be done when actually there will be, bright sunlight, then it has to be done accordingly. So as and when it was promised, this is called reliability. And the company must maintain an error-free record for that. Then only it will be accurate, then only it will be correct in the first time, and then only this service will be reliable. Okay. Now it is very important for providing a good and positive brand image to the company. Okay, reliability. And then by we I mean these tour management company employees. They must refrain themselves from over promising these services, because if in a desperation to sell a product they over promise, yes, certainly this activity will be done, but then the matter is that activity is subject to weather condition, and what if weather condition is not conducive for that. Okay, whatever the kind of rain or sunlight or wind speed which is required is not there. Okay, or availability of certain resource, like for skiing it may be ice, fresh ice. So if it is not there, don't over promise, because the moment TMC employees over promise, the customers develop their expectations as per these promises, and since their expectations are heightened and service has not been delivered or not been delivered up to the expectation, this heightened expectations, then tourist will be dissatisfied. So don't promise if the things are not under your control. Okay, and it is very true that the elements of the tour are not owned by the travel management company itself. I have told you this thing in the starting of this course itself. Okay, so here the TMC employees role is very important by not promising and letting the tourist know the reality, limitations and constraint, and within that constraint what is the possibility of getting the service delivered. Only then they will be able to generate realistic expectations in their tourists, and of course the service the delivery of the service will be satisfactory and reliable. Okay, now next is tangibles. Now you must be thinking that services are intangible. Then how come tangibles are important? Tangibles are very important. Out of these 5 elements, tangibles is something which has got the least importance. But then you must understand that tangibles play a very important role in defining the experience of a tourist. An experience of tourist is the base for satisfaction of the tourist. So like we talk about, if you go to any business class hotel and there you find that maybe that hotel is in Rajasthan in India, and there you find that the front desk staff is let's say wearing some kind of Rajasthani dress like lehenga choli and ghagra, it will be it will not be as per the mindset of the guest. Why is it so? Because he's a business traveler. Okay, but if at the same time in the reception itself he finds a reception staff who's wearing a business suit, it goes in line with his thought process. So here employee is the same, service delivery is the same, hotel is the same. The only difference is whether that tourist is a business, whether that hotel is a business class hotel or that hotel is a leisure hotel. But if you find this kind of a receptionist wearing their traditional dress, or in Konkani region wearing Konkani dress, it will be a very enticing and good experience for the tourists. They might even get some selfie, So that's what this is talking about. So these are complete dresses are tangibles. Okay, so these are tangibles which are making an impact. And beside this, let's talk about heritage hotels. Heritage hotels got this tag of heritage because of the tangibles which are there. Their facade, their curtains, their beddings, their exterior, their architecture, their the way in which they serve, the way in which they behave. It's a very traditional, old, classy thing. So that's what this is talking about. Okay, the heritage hotels, in case of heritage hotels, it is only because of tangibles that these hotels give altogether a very different experience to the tourist. In business class hotel, I have already given you example, but you talk about coaches of let's say Palace on Wheels. They make you feel like Maharaja. Why? Because interior is such. Or you go to, I have given you this example of, Palace on Wheels, which is one extreme of luxury in India. But when you talk about tuk-tuks in Bangkok, this is another side, altogether, extreme of, in terms of, price of a product. One is your personalized experience, very luxury kind of a thing. And tuk-tuk is something which is a shared transportation within a city itself. So when you go to tuk-tuk, you will find a very different kind of decoration and the lighting and the sound and everything, and which is very much Thai in nature. So these are, these all are tangibles which create an experience or somehow impact the experience of the tourist, and this is how actually tangibles play their role. So out of these 5 elements, tangibles are the least important, but they are very important in terms of defining the altogether experience. Okay, they contribute in the overall impression of the way in which service has been delivered. So next is responsiveness. Okay, now responsiveness is the willingness to help customers. It's not about just helping them or delivering them service. How much willingness is there? How much that voluntary thing which comes from inside a service provider, and that's what responsiveness is all about. So it has to be dedicatedly providing prompt service. So it has to be a dedicated service, not that a tourist is saying that I'm looking for dinner maybe at around 8 o'clock, and then the kitchen person is saying that there is another tourist who is expected to come back in the hotel sometime around that time, only 15 to 20 minutes. So will it be fine if I bring your dinner along with his dinner? It's not a dedicated service. I mean, it cannot be just because one person is eating, the next person is also supposed to eat. Before or later, doesn't matter. Okay, so this has to be a dedicated service especially that the help and that service has been provided and created only for this particular customer, and that is the meaning of dedication. Okay, and it is to be a prompt service on time. Time is very important here. Only this prompt service, providing service is not important. Providing service at the right time with the right way is what is important. What makes a difference? You provide in a wrong way, you provide late service, no, it will be considered as no service at all. It will not add to the satisfaction of the tourist. Okay, so this promptness is also very important. And Watkins in 1998, he said that today time is the luxury. Okay, because tourists have actually purchased this time. If tourist has gone to a destination for, let's say, 48 hours, so he has paid a heavy amount for these 48 hours. He has taken off, he has put his work at the back burner. So that's what the TMC employees or service providers need to understand, that time is important. Okay, so prompt service is very, very important. Now providing service in timely manner. Okay, and with responses too. It's not just about delivery of service. It is also about when there is a query. Okay, can I change my ticket, and instead of going to Mumbai, can I fly to Bengaluru? So that this person sitting at the travel desk in the hotel, he says, yeah, okay, fine, let me find out and collect information for you, and then I'll get back to you. So this tourist asks, by what time can I get this information? Can I get this information 1600 hours today? Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now this person sends a request, okay, to any travel management company, any travel agency, and then after that is not getting a response by 1600 hours. So he is thinking that I'm not getting a response. So then how do I give a response? Then this tourist again comes back. You said you will be giving me a response by 12 or by 1600 hours, and as of now I have not received any response. And then this person says, sir, I have not received this response from the supplier himself. That's wrong. You have made a promise to your guest. The supplier has not made a promise. So even if there is no response from your supplier, you must have always contacted your guest and informed him, sir, I have told you I'll get back to you by 1600 hours, but unfortunately as of now I have not received any response. I am in touch with my supplier. As soon as I'll get a response, I'll get in touch with you. Okay, I'll provide you the value. And now if the tourist asks like, in how many hours, 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours, then on the basis of your communication with your supplier, you can always say, sir, I'll try to get it done within this much of time. Okay, so it is not about, just providing information. It is always about giving a response to, even if you don't have the information which your tourist has asked to you, and you are telling this thing to your, guest or tourist that you do not have this response, do not have this information. This is also a response. A no is also a response. So what your what your tourist want is a response from you, not you have to give information by this time. No, it's a response. Okay, so this is what is, this is what is promptness, this is what is dedication, this is what is willingness. Okay, and these all things result into responsiveness. Okay, now it is also about how efficiently the work has been done. Okay, it implies assessing, swiftly replying to customers' requests, providing feedback, questions and issues, all these things which are, customers usually have in their mind. Sorting out those things is actually responsiveness, with the right attitude at the right time, with promptness and willingness, with a service attitude. Okay, particularly for this customer, dedicated staff. Okay, and it builds trust and rapport with the customers. It's very important. The moment customer thinks that responsiveness is there, you develop a trust and rapport with your customers. Okay, next is assurance. Assurance reflects knowledge and courtesy of the employees and their ability to inspire trust and confidence. How much knowledge do they have, and how much courteous are they, your employees, while talking to your customers, while giving them responses, while listening to their complaints, while listening to their queries, while just not telling them anything, just listening to them so that their anxiety is going down. These all things give assurance. Okay, what happens as a result of all these things? The customer feels like that he has got your back. Okay, so he feels safe here. Okay, now safe transactions, maintaining privacy, these all things come under assurance. Okay, by not telling anyone in which room who's staying, what is his name, what is his phone number. Okay, and then assurance goes down when actually employees enter into the room without knocking, without even asking, without taking permission. Okay, then in that condition, the guest does not feel safe. Or when the details of the guest, his phone number, email ID, name and other details are being sold to the third party without his consent. Okay, or maybe the information is inaccurate or incomplete. This is also something because of which the customer does not feel safe. He simply thinks he himself does not know. How can I rely on him? How can I be assured? Okay, after that, there are other ways also in which this assurance may be. So with this, we have completed assurance. Now next is empathy. Now empathy means where a person understands the next person as an individual, as a human being. Okay, the service provider's employee does not think about the tourist from his own perspective. He thinks from the tourist perspective. That is what is empathy. It's not talking about sympathy. It is talking about empathy, understanding. Putting yourself in the shoes of the tourist and then trying to understand his problems, his perspective. Okay, and then responding to him as per his perspective. Now, caring individual attention, when this is being provided to a tourist, then tourists feel there's empathy is there, the employee of the travel management company. Now, Watkins in 1998 said that if one looks at who is winning, it tends to be the companies that see guests as an individual. So guests are, or tourists are, not a group of people, it's a group of individuals. So you need to understand that every individual here is unique, and as a TMC you need to provide them services, information and other things as per their requirement, as per their perspective, as per their thought process, and this is what is empathy all about. Okay. Now, tourists want the companies to perceive from their perspective. They do not want you to only understand. Since Mr. Sharma has said that, this is the time to, whatever Mr. Sharma has said something, and Mr. Verma has said this thing, so, I mean, these two are the same. No, Mr. Sharma might have said that thing from a different perspective. Mr. Verma might be saying this thing from a different perspective. So, this difference in perspective, even if the statement is same, is what empathy is all about. Okay, Mr. Verma found it easy to make, cash payment. Mr. Sharma finds it easy to make online payment. So it's not about payment from two tourists. No, it is about accepting payment as per their convenience. Okay, as they are two different people. So it is about having an interaction with tourists as a human. Okay, and employee tries to understand what that tourist is saying, where is he coming from, and what is his perspective. Okay, and I have worked with, in the tourism industry for quite a while, and let me give you a real life example here. When I was working, there was a tourist, there was a customer of mine. She was going to Europe on a trip, and she was approximately 70 years old, 70, in fact, a little bit more than that, around 71 or 72. And I still remember she asked me this thing that what type of coaches are going to be there. So I provided her information like, generally for what duration these coaches travel, then after what duration they stop, for how many minutes do they stop, whether washroom will be there or not, and everything. Then she asked me a question, what is the height? Like how would I, how would I board these coaches? How will I put my, feet? What are the steps? So I said, there are stairs, these will come down and then you can go on them. Now, what is the height of these steps? Now, can you imagine, we all know this thing that when we talk about, these coaches are subject to availability. So today, if I'm saying that one coach will be available, maybe from Dennis, tomorrow Dennis might say that that particular coach is not available, or there is a crackdown, some kind of problem in that coach. So maybe Dennis is going to give me another coach, and the height of these stairs may be different. But this is my thinking. You think from the perspective of this 70+ years lady. Okay, for her, whether she is raising her feet by 4 inch or 6 inch or 5 inch, then the effort which she needs to do to on her knees and entire backbone and everywhere on her body, and then she needs to do it repeatedly in a day, and then she needs to do it repeatedly for a duration. Think from that perspective. She was completely justified in asking this question. So I collected this information from my company and provided it to her, and she was more than delighted after having this information. Okay, so that's what this is all about. It is, empathy is not about, you may think about it, why do I need to give this information? How do I know? I mean, that's fine, but then you are taking a customer who is, a senior citizen or maybe a super senior citizen. You need to understand from his, point of view, and that's what empathy is all about. So hence, company must give empathy trainings to their employees. It's very important. More than sales training, let me tell you, empathy trainings are important. If you are empathetic towards your tourist, if you are responsive towards your tourist, if you are, understanding what the tourist is talking about and coming from, you will be a good salesperson. Okay. With this, I am, stopping this lecture here. At the end of this lecture, I have provided you with a list of 5 books. You can refer to any of these books or any other book of your choice. Thank you.